Okay, take two. I've done this before, and for some reason it wasn't recording, so I'm going to try this again. All right, I just wanted to walk you through your homework for tonight. Some people might have trouble pulling an equation from these lines, so I figured I'd walk through a few examples for you. Now, we're using slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. If you remember from class, the m represents our slope, and b represents our y-intercept. We also refer to that as our initial value when we're dealing with functions. Love that term. When your input equals 0, that's what your output is, your initial value. So we're going to walk through an example or two to get you rolling here. So we know we're going to be using y equals mx plus b. I'm going to try number 2 here. So I'm going to leave x and y in my equation. The reason is that represents any ordered pair on my line, and I can always fill that in. The things I'm looking for, though, are b and m, excuse me. So first things first, I'm going to look for my y-intercept, which is right here, right where that line crosses the y-axis. If I write the coordinates for this point, let's see. On the x-axis, it represents 0. And the y-axis, I go up 1 to get there. So my y-intercept here would be positive 1. So I'm going to fill in positive 1. Now, the trick here is I got to fill in the slope next. So what I'm going to do is I got to figure out how I get from one point to another. I've got one really good point there, right at my y-intercept. I got to find another good point. Now, I'm looking on my lines here. This isn't really good. It doesn't really cross that coordinate perfectly. Right here, though, if you notice, it goes right through the graph, nice and perfect, so I get a nice coordinate here. I don't even necessarily need the coordinates, I just need the point. Now, if you notice, your line is going downwards. If it's going downwards, that means we're going to have a negative slope. The way I like to think of it is if I go to the bank and they say, this is what your finances look like for the month, I'd be pretty upset because I started all the way up here, and I ended up all the way down here. So I'm not going to come out of there with a very positive feeling. As a matter of fact, I'll be feeling pretty negative about things. So I'll give me a nice negative slope. So now I got to figure out how I get from this point to this point. Now remember, slope is change in y over change in x. So I'm going down 1, 2, 3 places. And I'm going to be going over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, that's a negative slope. This is pointing downwards, and now I have an equation. And I can plug in any ordered pair on this line, and it will make this equation true. If I use this, now I'm not asking you to do this for the homework tonight, but I'm just showing you why it works. My coordinates for that are -5, +4. That's telling me if I use 4 for y here and -5 for x, it will make my equation true. And what do you know? Watch what happens. These can cancel out. -3 times -1 gives me +3. 3 plus 1 equals 4, doesn't it? It works. That'll work for any point on this line, any ordered pair. But again, I'm just showing you how it works. The only thing we're really concerned with for our homework tonight is just getting this equation. I'm going to walk you through one more of these. Let's try number 6. Number 6 is a good one. Again, y equals mx plus b. I'm going to keep my y. I'm going to keep my x. And I'm looking to fill in m and b. Now, I'm looking for my y-intercept. If I look here, the coordinate, wow, it's crossing right here at the origin, right at 0, 0. So my y-intercept is going to equal 0 for this. I'm going to leave 0 here for now. I'm going to show you why at the end. Now, I need another point so I can come up with a slope. So if I look on my line here, let's see, I'm going to go, none of these look really good until I get to right about here. Now, if I look at this line, it's going upwards. If I went to the bank and they said, this is what your finances look like, I'd be a very happy guy. You know, it looks like I started all the way down here, and then by the end of the month, wow, things went well for me. I had a good month. I feel really positive. It means I'm going to have a positive slope here. So I'm going to find my slope, one point to another, go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places, and I'm going to go over 1, 2. So my slope for this is going to be up 5 over 2. And that's all we need for this. Now, I can rewrite this. Now, I know anything plus 0 is just going to equal itself. So I don't even necessarily need the 0. But that's the role it plays, at least in this equation. So, there you go. I figured I'd walk you through an example or two. That way, if you're having trouble, you can always use these examples to help you out. Good luck.